and this was kind of a small upgrade. And let me show you what's kind of going on with this. If you don't know, skeleton warriors are my favorite monster, fantasy monster of all time. I just, I love skeleton warriors, and I blame that on Jason and the Argonauts from the movie from way back. Watch that movie. The end of it is awesome. Well, the thing is, and there was a few different artists working on early on, and the skeletal grunt, the minion that we had was this one here. And you know, Freddie has done most everything. Freddie Lopez is just absolutely amazing. So this was the original skeletal grunt, and I like it. It's cool. However, I don't think it fits Dungeon Crusade, like the art style. So I asked Freddie, do you think, and this happened a while ago, and he finally got to it because he is a very busy guy. I said, can you paint a new skeletal grunt, you know, with a sword and shield, and you know, do it Freddy style, because he's designed a lot of the, you know, monsters in the game. And so I have for you the updated one. You can take a look at it and compare it. There is the new. I don't want to get too close, but there is the new skeletal grunt and the old one, and he just did an awesome job. And this weekend, the Crusade cutting crew is going to be cutting up the new cards, and the one girl is going to be, she does all the standees. So she's going to be making the new ones. So I don't have those yet to show you, but I will be showing you those in another video because I have something else planned I want to discuss with you guys. So there's the new skeletal grunt for Dungeon Crusade, and I really dig that. So thank you, Freddie. Kudos. That thing looks absolutely awesome. Another, you know, there's just been small tweaks as we play test it and I play test it. I just make little adjustments to make sure it's, you know, right as rain. And one of the cool things, and I don't want to disrupt my session because I have an awesome game going on, which we are getting to, is the Archer. I'm going to remember where she was at. This is Enwyn, right here. And she was very unfortunate what happened. I went for a treasure chest and I got a trapped treasure chest, but we're getting to that. She had, this has been in the works for a while, and I finally just got to it. I was working with Dean. You know, all the heroes have 3 abilities that can be leveled up 3 times. So, you know, they got like a little skill tree. And one of the ones we had before that I wrote was one called Crippling Shot. And it was a cool ability, but then there's another one called Pinning Shot. And they were kind of different, kind of the same. And I'm all for, when I wrote these special abilities, I wanted easy to use special abilities and fun ones. You know, like really fun and easy to use. And I think you guys are gonna like this one. I'm gonna show you what it is. Long Shot is, let's turn it over. This print company print this up. This is a little bit dull. This should be a little more vibrant. So again, this is not final, you know, stuff you're seeing. Final art, but, you know, finished. And this is a very cool ability. We can see here, it's a channel. We just learned you channel this card. This can't be used in a chamber, but it can be used in the dungeon, in the corridors, and I think you're going to dig this. When you'd use Enlightenment, you got to spend 2 Life Force XP, basically, and that will get it for you, and then you have to spend 2 Essence to use it. So let's read this. This may be activated within the Archer's turn. When activated, target a monster within 4 spaces in line of sight of the Archer. Roll 1d6 and consult the chart below. 1 to 2 a miss, 3 to 6 monster takes 1 damage. A bow must be equipped to use this ability. So if we can picture this, let's say, and I wish I had this right now for what's going on. I think, hopefully, can you see that? I'm going to move her for a second. Actually, over here, that's Orc Archer is a raiding minion in the game I'm playing. So let's say we move Enwyn here. So we went like 1, 2, 3, right? If we can see that. Well, see 1, 2, 3, 4. She could use Long Shot, pay the 2 essence, and then roll a d6. So if we did that, 1, she would miss. But again, if she rolled a 3 or 6, that monster would take 1 damage. And the reason I put a 1, you know, on a miss, because that's the odds the monster may be ducking out of the way. I didn't want to make it automatic. You know, I wanted to have that chance in there. The monster could maybe duck or move out of the way. But, you know, there's a greater chance of her hitting. And as that goes up, you do more damage, but then you can be further away from the monster to fire. And then finally at level 3, you know, she can target a monster from 8 spaces away and do 3 damage. So, you know, as you level up, this levels up. So this is I like this much better than Crippling Shot, and it just fits, you know, all of her abilities really nicely. So that was there. What else, guys? I think that was like the biggest stuff that I wanted to tell you, and now we can kind of get maybe to the battle report. But before we do that, I just want you to know that this game is wrapping up. There's just, from what I said, there's not much left to do. I'm finishing up the last of the flavor text and the images on the scenario pages. We're proofreading everything right now. Me and Charlene. Everything's looking great. We have some loose ends to tie up, small things. The next video coming, it's going to be about the monsters, the tweaks that were made to that. That'll be coming in the near future, and I want you to see that. I think you're going to like, you know, some of the final balancing and things that were implemented. And after that, the adventure cards, and we're done. Thank God. This has been a long time. You know, I've been on the game every single day. I've never taken one day off. Always on this, trying to get this thing done for all of us. So anyway, it's just, I'm not just saying this, and I mean, you'll see this firsthand if you know, when you go to play this. Anything can happen in this game, and it's almost like, I've never, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, there's subplots going on every turn of this game, and that's what I wanted. There's just something always firing in this game, and things to keep an eye on, and I love that. That's the experience I wanted to give to people, and make it surprising and random and whimsical. I love that word. But what happened was, right on the rip, and I'm going to show you some stuff you haven't seen before. N1 was actually the first one to move at the beginning of the game. So, you know, they started here at the siege tile, and she moved over here to the treasure chest. I always go for treasure chests. I want gold so I can buy stuff. Well, that didn't work out too good for me. So N1 opens up a chest, and you haven't seen this one before, and this is a nasty one. This is one I wrote called Wall of Arrows. And what happens is, you know, she opens the chest, and there's arrows start flying out of the wall. And basically what it is she had to test agility 18. Of course, adding her agility to a D20 roll. But the thing is, you have to test it 3 times. You know, because there's arrows like shoo, shoo, shoo going through, and you have to try to dart through it. And I can tell you, but see, the cool thing is here, on a fail, roll 1d6. The result is damage taken minus a hero's level. And any hero entering this phase must also make the same test. That is my charming dog, excuse me. But anyway, so you can minus the hero's level, you know, from the damage. So the first one she got, she took 4 hits. She failed that one. Second arrow, she totally missed. And then the third arrow, she took 2 damage. But if you can see now, there's a nice little token there. You can see down there that lets you know that now that's permanently in the dungeon. And that thing can show up at any, you know, next time you play, it might show up somewhere else. So this was a real nasty one. But it's fun, but deadly. You know what I mean? So that was right on the rip. However, we had down here at this one, I had Halloum, our rogue, open up a chest because I needed a healing potion because we had no gold. And she opens up this chest and gets 400 gold. Lifting the lid of the archaic chest, you discover 400 gold. So what I did was, I hope you don't mind hearing these little battle reports. I had Albus, you know, our fetch hound, run down here, get the gold. There he is. He's got the gold. And he is going to the village to get healing potions. So that's where we're going with him. Meanwhile, here's something else you didn't see. A new one. You know, I wrote all these encounters. Remember, there's the encounter phase? Well, in this encounter, this is one you've never seen. Well, it's a challenge. You know about challenges. And this is a very cool one. In all challenges, you get to select a hero. basically what this one is, see the treasure chest. So when I wrote this, I have, I pictured a treasure chest under a bunch of rocks. So you have to pick a hero to test strength to move the boulders to try to get the treasure chest. Well, I chose the barbarian, and you have to roll. You have to test 19 on a d20. He failed miserably. But if we would have got it, you roll 1d12 times it by 100, and that's the gold you get. So besides that, he had to test chaos resistance, for an affliction. Failed that, and he now has a chaos affliction, a first degree raging. And what happens is he can't be rallied or rally heroes to fight. It was a pretty nasty one, to say the least. But that's Dungeon Crusade. But right now, Albus is going to the village next turn to get an elixir, and that will cure him of his afflictions. And then you saw this one before, but this is this was just pulled this turn. Environment, a blood red moon is risen over the dungeon, Night of the Undead, +3 to all warfare rolls for undead monsters. So this game is getting pretty exciting. Plus we have a raiding minion over here that I have to deal with, and Red Widow spawned on the last Guardian phase. And plus all the other minions that are out. And I did discover a mining site. So guys, that's kind of like my little battle report. I want to get back to my game, but I just wanted to touch base with you and love you guys and just let you know that we're wrapping this up, and I'm really, really excited. I'm having just a great time finishing this up. If you have any questions, of course, throw them in the comments. Look for another video next week, and make sure to stick around and see the end of the video with the scenario pages so far. Okay, guys, have a good night, and I will be talking to you very soon. Bye-bye.